Hello again, everybody. Harry Boxer, the technical trader at thetechtrader.com. It's Thursday night, March the 31st, the end of the quarter, the month, etc. Market had a decent day today, but it was a mixed session at the end. But a lot of stocks we followed did very well and are trending. So let's take a look at some of them. Now, obviously, ACAD had the big explosive move 4 days ago. Didn't close well that day, but after trading was halted, news came out, it exploded again. Now, even though it closed poorly that day, today it reversed and had an inside day, but closed very well on 8.4 million. It was up $1.95 or 7.5%, and it looks to me like if we can get above the spike high we had just the other day, coming in around 28.85, this could be up to 33 short term. There's still 8.5 days to cover according to this. CEMI thinly traded, but popping today, had the second biggest volume on an up day since back here in September. So other than this one big day here, that's the biggest volume. I was starting to pick it up. So it looks to me like we're going to see 6 3/4, 7 short term. And we may get this one up to 7 3/4, 8. Look at the overall structure. It's first breaking it out, looking good. CPXX, after the spike up, it's been trending. And you can see in a rising channel, after pulling back for 3 or 4 days, it's starting to edge higher. Now, nothing spectacular, but it looks like it can start to move again. And if it does, I got a target in the 17-18 zone, so keep an eye on this one. It could be wildfire. DLNG, thanks to Andre spotting this morning, this one broke its major declining top line. It had dropped from about 20 down to about 6 and change, but an inverse head and shoulder, and then a right-handed extended V on the 50 held, and it spiked. Now that it's through here, it wouldn't shock me to see it make a quick move up towards resistance near 15. That's my next target, 15, 15.5. But for now, let's keep an eye on a little bit of resistance up here for 12.5. Well, the star of the day was Genocea, exploding from 537 to 807, and in after hours, as you can see, made it all the way up to 845 before dropping back to a 6.5. However, it's still something on the edge up $1.15 from there, and it's trading after hours around 765. So with that kind of a breakout move, with volume of 24 million, unheard of for the stock. Yes, the October high was 820, and that's one of the reasons I had a target today at 815, where we reached right in that zone. So if we do punch through here, it wouldn't shock me to see the stock around 10, 11. Let's move to INGN. Well, the swing trade I put out a week ago has finally come to fruition with a pop of almost 3 points today, or 7%. And you can see it cleanly broke out, got right up to the next resistance. But I do think it's going to take a run at the 47, 7.5 range short term, and immediate term, 55. LABU still basing, but looking better. The biggest volume in its history traded today, folks, 5.7 million on an up day, a good sign. Now, watch this declining top line and lateral resistance. If it's able to take out the, let's call it 30 range, 30.25, you can very well see 34 very quickly, and then we're off to the races. If the biotechs are turning here, this is going to be an interesting play. Medivation with an explosive day today on continued takeover rumors, up 859 or 23% on 17 million. As far as I can see, it's the biggest volume ever traded. Now, there is some resistance from the December high coming in just under 49, 48 3/4. You may very well get there tomorrow. Looking good. MXL, the swing trade, is finally moving again. After a pullback, held support, it's been edging higher. Watch this one going forward, because through 1880, 82, I'm looking for to get to 21.5, 22 zone. Same with NPTN. Very similar patterns, both semiconductor. This one too breaking out the multi-year highs and trending upward. My target, 16. Prime Water with a nice pop today. Also the second biggest volume it's seen in over a year, breaking out across the base pattern that it had developed over the last few months. A good sign that it's heading forward. Targets are 11 and 13. SCLN exploded today on news that it was being included in the S&P 500, excuse me, 400, or maybe 600. But anyway, the stock popped across the declining tops line and closed above the prior spike high, which was 1094, closing at 11. Up $1.33 at 13%. Strong volume of 2.5 million. We may very well get a quick test of the 1170 range as always tomorrow morning. Ultimately, though, the way this is channeling, we can see 15. Wanted to highlight TRGP. One of our swing trades didn't do a lot today, up 77 cents or 2.6%, but the way it's developing with the double bottom, a strong surge off the lows, and now a platform with the moving averages crossing over, this looks juicy. I think we're going to see 50 bucks on it, folks. I'm looking for 20 points higher. VCEL. Well, if you notice, the 4 days in a row now, it's been narrowing in a coil pattern. This is bullish. When the stock gaps, wedges, breaks out, and then starts to wedge again, you can be sure that it has a good shot of getting up towards 7, 7.25, if not more. Keep an eye on this one. WebMed, breakout time. Looking at the weekly, and then at the long term, you'll see there's multiple tops up in here. The all-time high was 63.49 reached in 07, so that's 9 years ago. Today, 63.14. If we punch through here, we may get this up near 70 short term. And lastly is an old name from way back when, Xerox. Take a look at the downtrend in the last year, year and a quarter. And it's taken it from 14 back down to 8 and spiked right back up again. Now, I'd like to see a little bit better technicals, but the key to this action is that the declining top line broke up 3 weeks ago, and now the double top's been broken. I'm looking for a test of the 11.5 zone as early as tomorrow. But my ultimate target in this is number 1, 12, 12.25, and number 2, 13.5, 3/4, short term. And that's it for tonight, everybody. Have a good evening. Talk to you tomorrow.